Hi, this is M.H. Smith. I have two friends with me. We just saw the Expendables 2. If you'll introduce yourselves.
I'm James Patrick Vaughan.
I'm Stephanie Stephens.
These two, if you probably know these two because they've been in the trailer for A Deadly Affair, the new movie I'm working on.
I'm the husband.
I'm the wife.
And I'm the co-writer and director. Anyway, so we just saw Expendables 2.
We did, yeah.
It was really good.
And she doesn't know much about action films. She's kind of new to action films, so the fact that she liked it is really interesting.
Very epic.
It was epic. I enjoyed it. It was light years better than the first one, and I thought the first one was good.
Agreed, yeah. The cameos were handled better.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like just, I'm officially kind of in the movie, just so you can put my name on a poster moving on. They actually paid off everyone really, really well in this one.
I don't know, I thought they got... Okay, so we're going to spoil some of this, so, yeah. They killed Hemsworth really quick.
Yeah, but it's the other Hemsworth.
It's Liam.
Yeah.
It's the Hunger Games Hemsworth.
Okay, so
it's not Thor Hemsworth, so I was fine with that.
Just to clarify.
I'm not nothing against Liam or anything, just if they'd killed Thor, I would have been more upset.
Oh, yeah.
But that was what was clever about it, though. Because they even had the whole thing, I'm getting out at the end of the month. And you totally dismiss, he's going to die, because he's Hemsworth.
Yeah.
It's just, I dismissed it. They're just setting up a story arc. He's not going to die.
Yeah, he's in the trailer, he's in the poster, of course he's going to make it.
And he does, in case, just to throw you off.
Yeah, he makes it all of 20 minutes.
Until the end. Then when he comes back, it's a nice twist.
Yeah.
Definitely want to see as many movies with all the actors as possible.
Yes.
And I'm her boyfriend, and that excites me, because I have an excuse to watch all these really old, slightly cheesy action films again.
It will make it better.
And you can't say anything, because it's not on record that you want to watch all of these movies.
Oh, yeah, believe me.
So let's see, that's Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, of all the Statham movies. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones she needs to see that she hasn't seen. You watched To Get Smart, so you've seen Terry Crews in something.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he's the other agent. You have like The Rock, and then the fat funny guy, and then the buff guy. He's the buff guy.
Oh, okay.
He's the one. You know how I posted? That's a slow death. He's that guy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I completely forgot he was in this.
Yeah.
Turn off. Anyway, I really enjoyed the movie. It was insane from beginning to end.
But there's still a story.
Yeah.
And it's a really good balance between the story, the humor, and the action, never canceling each other out.
Mm-hmm. So out of the old action heroes, who was the favorite?
Is to me personally, this is totally biased, just seeing Schwarzenegger doing anything in an action film again was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
I mean, but credit to Stallone. He's the one pulling this. He's the one pulling these movies together. He's the one making it happen. So credit there. And then the fact that Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris, and he's allowed to be Chuck Norris in this movie. There's no explanation beyond it's Chuck Norris. And once again, Steph, you'd never seen a Chuck Norris movie. You'd heard the name.
This is my first one.
Right. And what did you think about the Chuck Norris stuff? Was it still entertaining to you? Or?
It was, but definitely better if you have a reference for it.
Chuck Norris, blinds involving king cobras, an action sequence involving an X-ray machine at an airport. Just very unique stuff.
And the good, the bad, and the ugly theme.
That's what the songs, man.
Oh,
the songs they used in this movie. I mean, the soundtrack was great too, but the original songs. Dude, the licensed songs.
Yeah, I'm here going. Hey, I have all this on my iPod. Finally, a movie that I can hear the actual band music, and I have that.
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
epic
good
villain.
Surprisingly, if he'd been a villain earlier, I think he'd had more of a career actually.
A less direct-to-DVD career.
That's true. That's more accurate. And the best villain name ever.
Villain.
Yeah. He's Jean-Claude Van Damme is the villain named Villain, and I can't imagine no one ever. I'm the only person that laughed when they said his name. I was chuckling. Did nobody else get in the theater? I don't know. It's very subtle, I guess. It's like you mentioned it before.
It's like I remember reading. It's like going through did they really name him Villain?
No, it's Villain.
Are you kidding? Oh, I had nothing on pronunciation.
Come on.
It's Villain.
We get
like
to hear,
Mulan.
We get to hear about everyone's all the characters' favorite foods. We get to hear about Dolph Lundgren's Gunnar favorite Swedish dishes. That was awesome.
The fact that he used to be a biological chemist. And the fact that he is a bit of a genius in real life.
Yeah, the actual actor, which is hilarious, especially considering the part he plays in the Expendable movies.
Yep.
Um,
I'm totally buying the DVD.
And this is okay, a little bit of a spoiler here too. Jet Li's in this movie not very long. He drops out pretty early on, and yet feels like he had more to do in this than he did in the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one was like, I'm short, insert short joke, one fight. The scene that involves frying pans, knives, and a gun with one bullet. That was
Pretty epic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the sound effects in the pan fight was great. It was almost cartoonish, but not quite. Okay, no, it was very cartoonish. It was fantastic.
Yeah, but it was wonderful. The level of cheesy corn in this movie was. It said, okay, you have to understand. I like my corn, and I like it covered in cheese. When it comes to cinnamon, not actual corn covered in cheese. All that does sound really good right about now.
This is your chance, Stephanie. Stephanie's hungry, so it'll be your chance to voice up about that.
It is good, and cheese is also good on popcorn.
It is very good on popcorn.
They have in movie theaters, bringing it back to when we watch
all
movies.
together.
So in this we watched in the movie theater where we didn't have any popcorn or cheese, but we were in a movie theater. It was a very good film.
Cheesehead was referenced. That was
It was.
That was the insult that was hurled about.
was
it's
awesome.
also an example of a good sequel.
It is.
It's one of those rare sequels that surpasses and moves on, but it builds on the first one. Didn't disregard the first one, just built on that foundation and took the next step up.
And see, the thing is, I liked it in a way because, okay, you gotta understand, when I saw the first one, I saw it like a week after seeing Machete, or vice versa. I can't remember. I actually liked Machete better because it was more insane action like that.
Well, the thing is that they walk a very fine line. Like, it was very crazy action, but with a slight wink, you can accept it happening in the real world.
Yeah.
It never quite crosses into that Machete moment where you like grip a guy's intestines out and use it as a rope to swing from one building down to the next one. It never goes that far.
Yeah. No, okay. What I mean by that is, Josh summed it up in our Machete video review, which is actually on the same YouTube channel this is going.
Okay.
All of the plot moments in Machete were like reloading. It was an action sequence, and then it had to reload. And there was another action sequence, and they had to reload. The first Expendables movie, the plot kind of drug it down a little bit. It was just
As much as I love Mickey Rourke, those scenes with Mickey Rourke, really well acted,
Yeah.
stopped at cold action.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Really well acted, well written, but it's supposed to be this action film.
Yeah, that's something Expendables 2 fixes.
Because you still have all the great character development, all the great story, but it's worked into the action sequences.
Yeah, the plot doesn't bring it to a halt. It's there just long enough to, hey, look, you can calm down from all the gunshots going off. All right, more bang, 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 bang time.
Now, one thing that Hunter mentioned in the watch for watching the movie, this movie does use the CG blood when people get shot.
Yeah, man.
But I would say, I typically don't agree. I don't like it, but this is the best use I've seen of it.
Yes.
Because they intermix it with the more practical effects.
Yeah.
So you get those, and it allowed you to have those. I'm used to that. Holy crap! And one just way over the top, which was a nice touch.
Yes, and the last one.
Yeah. There's one particular action sequence involving them defending a village from this evil
dude
cartel group, and get down into that, and it's the best use of CG blood ever in a film.
Yes.
Because it's just, yeah, it was fantastic. This is the first film that I think actually tried to take the smart car and put it into an action movie.
And kind of make it work.
It kind of works. It mainly works because they mock the smart car a lot, and then it's you have to see it appreciated, but it's well done, and it's
in the trailer, but only in part. It's done so much better.
Yeah,
in
the
movie.
trailer is another good thing about the trailer in this movie. It didn't ruin anything.
No,
it gives you an idea. Oh, I know. They're going to be in a smart car, but the sequence is so much more than just on the trailer that it didn't ruin anything.
the whole trailer was just all the trailer told you was it's all these awesome guys in one movie blowing stuff up.
And one last thing they did storyline wise, they referenced the fact that they're old just enough to get past it, not enough to drag the movie down.
Yes.
Something else Expendables 1 did. It really dwelt on these guys are really old still doing this stuff. The second one, they reference it occasionally, but mostly they're
Like,
past
yeah,
that
we're old,
now.
but we can still do it.
Yeah,
which was good. The little Russian training camp was wonderful.
that was good.
We have to get one of those for our stuff.
Yeah, and Dolph Lundgren stole that movie for me. The more I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, just every sequence that was his, hilarious.
Yeah.
I've never seen him do comedy. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope that was supposed to. If that was supposed to be comedy,
I
that's fantastic.
really hope
If
it
that
was
supposed to
too.
be drama.
Otherwise, that's going to be the biggest insult ever.
Sorry, Dolph.
And they say, you're familiar with the Razzies.
Mhm.
That's going to eat that up this year.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that's
Unfairly though, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I'm an actor, and I think that a lot of times that kind of acting's a lot harder to do than people give it credit for.
Yeah, but here's the thing: our opinions are, the correct ones, but but you also have to keep in mind that Patrick and I both really appreciate Batman Forever and really appreciate Batman and Robin for the cheesy fun that it was.
And Tango and Cash, getting it back to more of an action movie vibe.
Yes.
If you haven't seen any of those movies, you should.
What? Batman and Robin wasn't an action movie.
No, like a copy, more like real world action movie. There are no nipples, and well, there are nipples, but they're not synthetic. They're all real. All the nipples in those two are real. Just like in Tango and Cash, all the nipples are real. That's the connection. That's the connective tissue. Very little silicone in Tango and Cash.
Yes.
That one strip club scene, there's probably a lot of silicone right there, but it was concealed.
And also, I don't know. I think there was some Botox going on in this movie.
And see, that's just a
little bit.
Okay, here's my opinion on the whole roids Botox thing. I choose to believe not true. I choose to believe they're just gifted and they work that hard, because to me that's just part of the fun.
Okay.
People that are old enough to be my parents that could break me in half. That's part of the fun of the Expendables movies to me. And if they're doing it, I don't want to know it. That's one thing I totally don't want to know. I love movie making secrets. That's one I don't want to know. Unless it involves lots of iron pumping, I'll let that one be.
This is where Patrick chooses to live in denial, which is fine. I happen to think the other way. I just think, oh, you're killing yourself to make me an entertaining movie that I liked.
Fine, Statham did look a
That's
little...
fine.
Statham probably shoots up a little bit. Because obviously he's the old one in the cast.
Yeah.
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 When Statham is your young kid... Because, see, he's not that young. That's why I laughed just now.
Yeah, because, he's in like his 40s.
Terry Crews has got a horrifying physique.
Yes, he does.
It's
I'm
not
rather
even
frightened of him.
It's not. It crosses that line like he's in shape too. This is just awkward when your muscles move.
Yeah.
They did do a close-up of an arm, and then you can see like all the lines down it, all their muscles.
There's that one shot
on the
like
big screen.
Anytime the guns are firing, get that
what
jigglage going on.
What was obviously the last shot of the film is that there's a pan up Stallone's arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I imagine every day he worked out his right arm for 3 hours for that one shot, because that is
insane.
It's scary.
Oh, I will admit, and I'm sure they're going to try to pass that off as muscle, but that was arm fat hanging on Van Damme when he first took it before that final fight with his arms spread out. That man had Batman wings going on. I'm sorry.
Say what you will, he still has the kicks.
He still has the kicks, and the kicks were impressive.
And the first time they used the kick was creative.
Yes.
The first kick, it's
so you can still do that.
There was no need for that kick. It was literally, you can tell on the set, and the script said, and he stabs. And Jean-Claude's like, well, this was my first scene, I kind of want to, then just kick it. Okay, there's no need to kick it, but I can kick, so I will.
I suspected Stallone going, you can still do that? Wham!
And I really want to see the outtakes.
The camera's over here.
I really want to see the outtakes of Jean-Claude doing the splits at every opportunity, trying to get it into the film. Because I know he's very proud of that, watching his older movie commentaries. He's very proud of doing the splits. And he probably still can, judging by how limber he was in the kicks. So yes. I want to... Sly, if that footage exists, get Simon West to put it on the DVD or the Blu-ray.
I think he can still do the splits. I just don't think he can get up from them anymore.
I don't just see him get up. That'd be hilarious.
Yes, it really would be. I would pay money for that as well.
And it's you see in the trailer the Stallone and JCVD fight, and not disappointed in that.
No, that was kind of awesome.
Anyway, so bouncing back to Steph, just because I want to be nice. Let's see. You'd seen Schwarzenegger and stuff. Well, that's probably the one you'd seen the most of. You like the Terminator movies.
Probably, yeah, and that part was great. Just how they reference, his earlier movies and how he's back, in the film business.
I'm back. As a prominent feature.
In every movie he made after the Terminator. Every movie, including his children's films.
I'm very happy to see him back.
You'd seen Bruce Willis, of course. You'd seen Die Hard. And I think you've seen other stuff too.
This was different than what I'd seen him in before that. With the type of character and everything.
Right. Let's see who else. Stallone, I made you watch some stuff with Stallone. Because growing up, it was Stallone and Schwarzenegger were neck and neck, and Schwarzenegger's probably a little more iconic just in general, mainly because of that accent, and the whole Mr. Universe thing, and just his physique in general. But I always kind of gravitated towards the Stallone films. I don't know, I really connect with Stallone because he wrote his own material, and that always really impressed me. So I tend to gravitate towards that a little bit.
Yeah. I've still never seen Commando.
I
just
have.
Want to throw that out.
Arnie, I've seen it. It's fantastic. That's a sequel you should start working on. Alyssa Milano should be in it. She's still around. She played his daughter in that one. Just since you haven't seen it. I'm pointing at Hunter mockingly for the purpose of the audio.
Yes. Because there are a lot of classics I've never... This is the way... Okay, I get into arguments with movie nerds. How can you call yourself a movie person? You've only seen like 1,000 movies in your lifetime.
Well,
I wish to counter this argument with I have only seen a handful of movies. I've seen those movies 700 times and have dissected every frame. I know all about those movies.
Well, see, to me, being a movie nerd is not seeing 100 movies. It's about loving movies themselves.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if you've seen 100 movies and you don't remember anything about them, but you've seen them, you're not a movie nerd.
Yeah.
You have to love film. And usually if you're a film nerd, you have a particular kind of film you gravitate towards.
Yeah.
But you love it. And that's what, to me, makes a film nerd. So there's a lot of classics I haven't seen. Citizen Kane, for instance. Like that's iconic, right?
Yeah.
Is that applicable to this? Or is that like... Are people all scratching their heads right now?
Yeah, I'd count that.
What? Let's go. I've never seen... Well, I just recently saw Ghostbusters.
I'm sorry. Hold on now. Now we're stepping into one of those movies that I love. What did you think of Ghostbusters?
Unfortunately, I knew everything was going to happen before it happened because everybody talks about it so much. It's like, oh, this is the part where Slimer shows up, and here's the part where that happens.
But it was still good, wasn't it?
It's a good movie, but it's hard to enjoy it when it's like, and this is the part, then there's the song, and there's the car, and there's the firehouse, and this is the part where that happens, and it's kind of like when I saw The Godfather for the first time. It's like, it's a good movie. It's just that it had been so spoiled, utterly and completely. Like, and this is the shootout, and this is Ron Brown with the cotton in his mouth, and this is the offer moment, and it's like, I'm appreciating the film, but it's just hard to have that glow about it.
I've seen movies like that. Like every time I've been forced to watch Gone with the Wind with my mother.
I've never seen it.
Who talks about this movie to me like I have never seen it.
I haven't seen it. My mom's more into sci-fi TV shows, so I kind of lucked out.
And see, that's why you have a cool mom.
Like Sequest. Loves Sequest.
Heck yeah, somebody likes Sequest.
First season.
Oh.
She likes a little off the rails when they had camouflage skinned people.
Yeah.
And side note, so in Sequest season 2, they had this concept they're going to genetically engineer the ultimate soldiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of like for infiltration and combat, and they genetically engineer their skin to be camouflaged. Isn't that kind of a huge flaw? I mean, would it be hard to be undercover and infiltrate? So. Like, your skin's camouflaged. Nope, no reason, just a birthmark all over my face.
That's messed up.
Anyway, back to the actual movie, sorry.
Back to the Expendables 2. Go see it.
Absolutely.
If you're hearing this and it's already on DVD or Blu-ray or instant stream on Netflix or at a Redbox or on a torrent site, get it.
Legally. Just saying.
But if you have the chance to see it in the theater, you should.
Yeah,
I missed out on the first one, and it, from what I hear, was awesome in a theater.
Yeah,
this one is too.
I mean, the soundtrack, if nothing else, the sound effects that go along with the action sequences need to be experienced in the theater, for sure.
Yeah. Are we coming back to see Raiders?
I really want to. Yeah, Raiders and IMAX. Yeah.
See, I'm not even.
You know how big that rock's gonna look?
Oh gosh.
It's big. It's big on my TV at home. Can you imagine IMAX rock?
Oh man.
If you don't get that reference, I can't help you.
If you don't get that reference, shut this off.
If
do something else.
If you don't get that reference, you're not listening now. Anyway, you tuned out because you were really bored a very long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. Any final thoughts?
Go see it.
Final thoughts would be definitely check it out. Thumbs
it was
up.
Good. Thumbs way up.
Mini stars.
Thumbs and guns up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it pulls an almost slasher movie vibe that the movie starts about, 15, 20 minutes later. Oh yeah, and here's the title of the movie you've been watching for a while.
Yeah.
Which was great.
In case you didn't know which movie you have sat down in and, purchased a ticket for sat down in, this is what this movie is.
But it's also like okay, I'll take a breath. That was just the opening. Now the movie starts. And you kind of need that for that opening sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just jumps right in.
Yeah. A lot like the Friday the 13th remake.
Sure.
You have
Feel the love.
You have to understand. Side note here: the Friday the 13th remake.
Okay. What about it?
Everything up until those opening to the title was pretty good. It should have ended there. After that, it ruins it.
I kind of feel like these people
Without Jason, I'm digging tunnels.
It's like Jason watched Hostel and said, "That's a good idea. I think I'll do that." This is just very short synopsis. I'm a big fan of the original, and just to be honest, mainly the Paramount run of Friday the 13th movies.
Yes.
Jason X is hilarious and all that, but it's just...
But his favorite is Jason Goes to Hell.
I like actual Friday the 13th movies. I don't like slasher movies. They decided to put a hockey mask on it. That was just... it's like if they decided, like, you know what would be really awesome? If we took The Fly and then Friday the 13th and Gremlins and blended that and let David Cronenberg direct it. That's Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
But then, like, just suck out a little bit of experience. Because unfortunately, I listened to audio commentary and had a lot of respect for what they were trying to do. It was their first film.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of first-time directing mistakes, which you would, because you just don't know.
Mm.
But Friday the 13th remake, opening sequence that's like, I don't think we needed to see watch his mom get her head cut off.
No.
Then you have a really good short film that has some, and like, all the sex scenes are incredibly awkward in that movie. It's written like
awkward period, but it's like emphasized.
Well,
awkward.
it's like my parents decided, let's write a sex scene. I think this is what kids say when they are fooling around. That's really what all those scenes feel like. It's like, you look nice, chest-wise. Ooh, the sex is fun, is it not? And it's just the most horrific thing to sit through. Beyond those scenes, and there's one in the opening sequence that's bad, and there's one that's goes on forever later on. Beyond those two scenes, and what I thought was kind of an odd ending, it was a good remake.
Okay. Have you seen the Nightmare remake yet?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. And I'm going to.
Actually, no, I take that back. It's good. Watch the originals first.
Oh, I'm going to. That's why I haven't watched it yet.
Watch the originals first.
Yeah.
You'll then watch the remake and go, oh, it's different, but it's okay.
I'm going into it mainly to want to see what Jackie or Haley did with the character. That's mainly what I'm going in for.
He did something.
And I might get to see that really big vampire from Twilight by it. He's in there, I found out. And David Cassidy's daughter, apparently.
Let me sum up Jackie Earle Haley's performance in Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Wow, how did we get on this topic? This is what our podcast is going to sound like.
I'm going to finish your thought, and then I have a plug. Then I should feed Stephanie.
Okay. Jackie Earle Haley managed to do one thing that Robert Englund in 7 movies could not do, and that was make Freddy scary.
So I'm expecting Rorschach, like, just without a mask, basically, is what I'm expecting. Maybe a little
about 5 degrees further down.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, you're kind of freaky.
Nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I prefer Robert Englund's Freddy just because he was more enjoyable to watch.
He was gleeful in what he was doing, and I think that's why people resonated with it.
Yeah, there's not.
He was the only slasher that.
I enjoy this.
Yeah, I get to do this. Awesome.
Jackie Earle's though, he was a lot more menacing in the fact that I'm going to kill you. I'm kind of getting a little kick out of it, but not much. If I can just say something scary to make you miserable, that's what I'm going to do. As long as you suffer, I'll be good.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, you had a plug.
Yeah, I have a plug. I don't know how this has been edited. I hope it has been for your benefit out there listening to this. But basically, you've seen how this has degenerated into, I think as well, a very fascinating conversation. Nothing at all to do with the Expendables 2. At this point, I'd like to plug something that Hunter has proposed, and I think is a very good idea. It's a podcast we're going to start doing. It'll be me, Hunter, Stephanie on occasion, and a rotating cavalcade of wondrous guests that you've never heard of that we are friends with.
Yeah, they're totally not going to hear this plug, but, you know.
Why not?
Don't give them the title, though.
Well, I'm not giving them the time. I'm just saying there's a podcast coming.
Oh, yeah.
No, you can't give... It's a plug, not a... Okay. I'm going for an Expendables 2 trailer like, ooh, that looks good.
Okay.
Or I guess sounds good. This isn't going to look like much of anything, is it?
Oh, that's... Okay, well, then continue on.
No, that's pretty much it. Just broke my concentration there at the end. So it just kind of...
Sorry.
It's okay. But no, basically just keep an eye open for that. It's
Links will be provided when it's available.
If you liked this conversation after the review, was there a review in this conversation?
There was.
Okay, after the review happened, if you enjoyed this conversation, look out for the podcast.
Yeah, we think you're going to enjoy it.
If you enjoyed this. And if you didn't listen anyway, because we could use the listens. Can you call them views?
Seeing as how I'm probably going to post them to YouTube first, with links if
Hopefully
they want to.
There'll be something interesting to look at instead of just like a black screen with the
title.
We'll do something clever.
Here's
what we'll do. We will play
clever.
footage from our favorite films muted. Not even related films. Like it'll be clips from Tango and Cash while we're discussing The Exorcist. I mean, we'll make sure that we don't accidentally discuss the movie that's being shown, just to really confuse you.
No, dude. You know what we ought to do? Set up the camera in front of a TV. Just put a just let it play.
It just gets to the menu, just sits there because we've talked for like 2 hours, and it's a really short movie apparently.
Or worse, we just kick it on, just leave it on the menu. We're gonna talk about this.
And every once in a while we're gonna comment, this menu sucks. Nothing's moving. Just...
They don't have animated backgrounds. Come on, people, you're slacking.
Okay, Tango and Cash, great movie, horrible DVD. You put in, it just starts immediately. The menu is just a black screen with text on it. Behind the scenes is just text. The trailer is there in mono. It's just like, sorry, I digress. Good movie, just
great movie. Crappy DVD.
There's no Blu-ray that I know of, but I don't know if that'd be a good idea because the production quality's like, I don't think they had the best cameras in. I think it was 89, yeah. And I just don't know how that would translate to...
Okay, let's put it this way.
I do want to see that mullet in HD, though.
Okay.
I want to see Crystal's mullet in HD.
Let me explain why I want to see that on DVD, or why it could possibly be good. You watched Cobra.
I did watch Cobra.
Did you catch the dude with his lapel mic?
Okay, you can't blame that on Blu-ray.
No. That was DVD and you noticed it.
No, that was a Blu-ray. That's the Blu-ray we were watching.
Was it the Blu-ray? I did not know that.
That was the Blu-ray. I haven't watched it on DVD.
It's noticeable on the DVD.
Yeah, well,
not as noticeable, but it is noticeable.
Now, I am very rarely going to blatantly attack fellow filmmakers, but I'm going to right now. His name is George P. Cosmatos, and he is I love Tombstone, and I like Rambo Part 2, and Cobra's pretty good, actually. There are a few technical gaffes that are annoying to me, but it's pretty good. And I don't know why they're in a pool tacking axes together. It's interesting, but anyway, sorry. My basic point is he is the world's worst commentary giver.
Oh God, I've never heard him on a commentary.
This is commentary for Cobra, because the beginning of Cobra is a close-up of a gun that rotates towards camera as Stallone's reciting crime statistics, and the gun goes off and the bullet flies at the camera.
After he pulls it out of his jeans and shoots.
Well, this is, and of course, since he's Cobra, it's a pearl-handled semi-automatic with a Cobra on it. Hello, I'm George P. Cosmatos. This is a film I directed. This is the Warner Brothers logo. I really like it.
Is it really that
bad? This is exactly what he said, because I listened to it 3 times. He's exactly this excited, and this is the beginning of the film. You may notice that is a gun. There is a Cobra on the gun. Now you see what is going on here is the person is pulling the gun as we hear Sly talking about crime statistics, and the gun is coming towards the screen. Now, we had a lot of trouble with the bullet. They made an animation. Anyway, which really irritated the heck out of me, because I was actually curious how they did that effect. And he mentions how they do the effect. It may have been animation. And he just moves on. And then we're fast forward, so we skip ahead. And this scene, you may notice that when Sly rips the shirt on the young man, you might notice the microphone, and by might notice, let me point out, it's a microphone about the size of a quarter, and a good 1/4-inch thick wire with a piece of white tape, and he's a darker skinned dude, so it really stands out.
It glows. I noticed that watching it on TV when I was 7. It's like, whoa!
And George P. Cosmatos is like, well, you may have noticed the microphone, and honestly, no one ever notices it. They think it's a necklace or perhaps a pendant. Assuming, of course, that a pendant is something that is not around your neck at all and is taped to your chest. I mean, it's...
Okay, to pimp out another podcast, Greatest Movie Ever reviewed Cobra.
Yeah.
And their logic said, we know it's a mistake. We like to pretend that he's an informant and that's his wire.
And Cobra just got him killed.
Yes!
And then goes and cleans the gun with his egg holder after putting his paper in the grill and cutting his pizza with a pair of scissors and watching a Toys R Us commercial. That I'm not even kidding. That's exactly what happens.
And it's an epic scene.
And all the bullets are blanks.
Doesn't matter.
That annoys me.
You, sir, we're going to have to watch the Death Wish trilogy. Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3,
Does he use
and
blanks?
Death Wish 4. I don't think so.
Then what's the connection? I don't understand.
They're canon films.
I have no problem with canon films, except for Superman 4. Okay. And even that has a charm to it that's...
Okay, then you're going to love this Death Wish trilogy.
Well, real quick. Cobra's not bad. It just... all that really bothered me was they cut to random stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And it would always be like, tension, tension, stop! Tension? Do you still care?
Yeah, I kind of... Yeah,
that was my main complaint. And the little if the random cuts hadn't been there, I wouldn't go back and complain about the technical glitches.
He's making me hate one of my favorite movies right now.
No, not making you hate the movie at all.
You're making me think it's flawed.
Tink, tink. Tink, tink. Tink, tink.
Okay, when I was... okay, when I... Okay. When I was 7 years old... When I was 7 years old, that scared the crap out of me.
It's scary the first time.
What the heck am I talking about? I'm 23, almost 24, and it's still
what kills me
a little bit.
It's a swimming pool full of psychos tinking their axes together. That's kind of scary till you see the overweight Baptist preacher. It's this overweight dude in a suit with a big belt buckle and a receding hairline. He's tinking these axes together. I'm like, Stallone's the hero. I'm not scared of you at all. Why is he in the middle of the frame? Come on, he's the best you got. He's leading these tinkers. You can't find somebody better.
Okay, we gotta stop now. I don't want to have to edit this much, but yeah.
All right. To wrap all this up,
Expendables 2, really good.
Very good. Stephanie?
It was epic.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna go feed my girlfriend.
I'm gonna go home and edit this nonsense.
I'll go home at some point as well.
Me too.
All right.
Oh, didn't you just love the fact that they hide Stallone's height so well?
Yeah, because
He's
so many
like
scenes.
5'9" next to 6'4" Schwarzenegger.
Or even the only person that looks taller than him is Dolph in this entire movie.
Dolph is taller than everyone on that movie.
It's like, we can't fix that. I'm sorry, that we can't fix it. Dolph, can you stoop over? I am stooping over. Oh, crap. Well, don't stand up.
Don't stand up, you'll go out of frame.
What? I can't hear you up here.
That's awesome. All right, Stephanie, say goodnight.
This is Stephanie Stephens signing off.
Patrick, say goodnight.
This is James Patrick Vaughan saying goodnight.
This is M.H. Smith saying goodnight.
Have fun listening to future iterations of awesomeness.
Thank you. Click all the links in the description.